All right, to love them is to, well, know them, because millennials now make up the largest group of home buyers in the United States. To our millennial panel, attorney Christi Kunzig, we've got Fox News headlines 24/7 reporter Carley Shimkus, and internet radio sensation and host Mike Gunzelman. All right, guys, what do you make of this, that now you are the life and blood of housing?
I'm really not surprised by it. I think we're doing everything later in life. We're getting married later. We're leaving the home later. And I think it's really because we're finally able to. We really finally can get that loan-to-debt ratio.
This is when you start whining about your college debt?
Oh, that is so mean.
So true, though.
I was going to try to whine as little as possible.
We should have Gasparino here.
I
Right?
would love to know who these millennials are, though, because none of my friends are owning houses. You know, the costs, so transportation costs, everything's going up, and we do have student loan debt. And you know, the Forbes this year, $1.3 trillion in student debt this year.
And so you're still paying off your college
for the next 30 years.
Really?
And he's not alone. I think this is a direct reflection on how expensive it is to rent an apartment. The cost of rent chews up about 45% of people's income, young people's income in big cities like LA. Yeah, well, especially if you live in a city like Los Angeles, San Francisco, Miami, New York. But also, Christi, going back to your point, what you said about how there was a recent study that said that young people are living home longer. So I think what they're doing is they're living home and they're skipping the apartment rentals. They're going directly into owning their first home, which I think is a very responsible thing to do, right?
I mean, that's been my plan. You know, stay home, get as much student loan debt off the table as possible.
Are you still at home now?
Absolutely.
Really?
Well, that's because
you help out. I mean, you help out. Do you pay rent or?
I don't pay rent.
You don't pay.
I just pay student loans, which is more than
a massive rent.
They are massive.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, to be able to put down 20% right now for a house, I don't know where that's coming from. I mean, obviously, like perhaps, you know, doing the typical, you know, get married and then, you know, have a kid, et cetera, and then you get a house. But I don't know where these people are.
You know what? That is also true. Income growth has, you know, been on the rise.
But two can
with
live
young
cheaper
people
than one, you know.
Lately.
I wouldn't know.
You're looking at.
That's why I'm single. Like, what do you want from me? I don't know.
You're looking for the second part of the two, right?
But no, I think that a lot of young people are really, because student loan debt is so high, $1.4 trillion Americans own in student loan debt. I think a lot of young people are going to the bank of mom and dad. Mom and dad are helping them with that first home because they realize how expensive the cost of living is, coupled with student loan debt. And also, they probably want them to get the heck out of the basement because it's getting a little bit of.
Sometimes it can be on the main level of the home. Not necessarily
but even going on that, the student loan debt is more than people have right now with credit card and auto loan. So literally, I mean, it's like the second highest one right now.
But you strike me. You're not a big spender. You watch your money.
Oh, yeah. Totally. That's because I have no money.
You have no, all right, fine.
He
But you
looks
know
so nice,
Don
though.
Imus. Is he that cheap with you that he doesn't?
We love Imus. Right?
Okay, fine. All right. But when I hear about millennials, I hear about remember right after the meltdown, guys? You were all in grade school, but the theory was that young people were leery of getting married, leery of owning a home because they saw so many of their parents lose a home or get caught up in a home that was upside down, that owed more than it was worth. So all these rites of passage that we associate with older generations, your generation was saying, no, once burnt, we're going to be very shy. Right. Yet here you guys are diving back into housing.
And I think that we do really look at everything very seriously and say, okay, we saw what could happen, so we're just going to be a little bit more cautious about it. But at the end of the day, eventually we do have to.
But last time you were here, you were blaming my generation for all your problems.
Well, I'm not taking that back.
Really?
Well, you know what? Actually, it is your generation's fault because a lot of older people were hanging on to their.
Wait a minute. Are you saying I'm part of the older people?
Take two.
Really?
What I meant to say was older people, excluding
like you, Gramps.
They were holding on to their starter homes, the first-time homes for a longer period of time. Maybe those first-time homeowners.
So you couldn't find those
homeowners. Yes, and young people couldn't afford anything other than homes that were already taken.
So pretty much it's your fault.
So thanks a lot.
We're saying.
But you have a commuter marriage. You deal with that and the pressures of that, right?
So we actually have two rents. So a rent in New York City, a rent in Chicago. So one home.
Who decided to do that?
Lovely.
You guys did, right?
Sure did.
But when you really think about it, subway fares are going up, parking spot to buy parking spots impossible, and then you also have the iPhone for like $1,000. So really,
do you have the new iPhone?
No, I don't trust the whole facial recognition thing. That's a little sketch on that.
You would end up in the post office saying, "I know that guy."
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you guys, when you look at the market, that's a separate investment? Do you feel, because this was the third leg of the sort of the troika things that you were afraid of, the markets as well. Your parents' generation was invest over the long haul. You're going to be richly rewarded. You saw your parents burnt. It's the argument goes, you were leery of the markets. And as a result, millennial participation in the market is also very low. Right. Do you have any interest in the markets?
Not really. I'm not interested. I think that we work really hard and we have so much steam that we're not willing to risk it.
I was going to say, this is probably the wrong.
No, but it's an honest answer. I don't think a lot of people are very.
So you don't like the markets?
I know that it's so important, but I don't think and I don't think our generation...
You're paying off your debt.
We're paying off our debt before we're risking our money.
I don't think the market directly, or I feel like it just doesn't directly affect me right now, even though it does. But as far as, like, you know, my day-to-day life and responsibilities, I do not think the market has to.
Do you save at all?
No.
Save to pay off your bills, which I think is...
Well, that's a very... That's going a long way.
I
pay them off.
I don't think many people, Guns, you're not alone, many people are saving long-term.
Yeah, for like 30 years down the line, exactly.
Except for those folks that are now buying those houses, which we see is clearly a good sign for the economy overall, I think.
I don't trust those people.
Really?
I wouldn't want them as my friends. If you're already buying a house, come on now.
You have a lot of friends.
A lot.
You're very popular.
Yeah, big on Twitter.
Yeah. But they don't know you're out of money, do they?
Exactly, right?
Guys, thank you very much.
He's not getting a date after.
Yeah, he's working it.
Thanks.